shoulders a little bit. Yeah, relax your jaw. We'll begin today with Try to Praise the Mutilated World by Adam Zagajewski. Try to praise the mutilated world. Remember June's long days and wild strawberries, drops of rosé wine, the nettles that methodically overgrow the abandoned homesteads of exiles. You must praise the mutilated world. You watched the stylish yachts and ships. One of them had a long trip ahead of it, while salty oblivion awaited others. You've seen the refugees going nowhere. You've heard the executioners sing joyfully. You should praise the mutilated world. Remember the moments when we were together in a white room and the curtain fluttered. Return in thought to the concert where the music flared. You gathered acorns in the park in autumn, and leaves edled over the earth's scars. Praise the mutilated world, and the gray feather a thrush lost, and the gentle light that strays and vanishes, and returns. In the face of threats of war and decimation, as you know, since the last time I saw you, the President of the United States threatened to erase a whole civilization. How do we shift away from that experience and have something besides being activated by every headline we encounter? How do we shift away from reacting toward being generative, even as we ourselves find ourselves in less than optimal circumstances? We do not only think ourselves into new ways of being. It's not just by thinking that we change. We also learn by watching, by practicing, and by staying in the room. We are trying to stay grounded, to praise what is still here without turning away from the truth. Can we learn to react differently? It's not just something we can aspire to. There was a psychologist named Albert Bandura who believed the answer was yes. People can change their reaction, and he set out to show how. He did some experiments. He put a creepy little ad in the newspaper. It said, "Come to the basement to get help with your phobia of snakes." People went to the basement because who wants to live terrified? When they got there were no snakes that they had to encounter directly, but there was a window through which they could see. And what they could see was an assistant calmly handling a snake. After a while, people learned not to be afraid and went home. That's called observational learning. It doesn't apply for everything everywhere, right? So that's just like a safety note. But in that case, people learned not by being very close to the snake, but by seeing that the person was still surviving. What Bandura teaches us is that we can learn a new reaction. Learning a new reaction matters because most of us are not waiting to become perfect before we begin. It turns out that staying might be the most important thing we can do. It might be enough. Olympic speed skater Stephen Bradbury teaches this. At the 2002 Winter Olympics, there was an Australian short track speed skater named Stephen Bradbury. At nearly 30 years old, he wasn't expected to win. In the first qualifying round, he was even placed in the same race as two of the favorites to win the gold medal. Only the top two skaters could advance to the next round. As expected, Bradbury finished in third place and was eliminated. Just as he was preparing to head home, the judges reviewed the race footage and discovered that the skater who had finished second had pushed another competitor while he was going around a corner. As a result, his time was disqualified. That meant that the third place finisher, Bradbury, unexpectedly advanced to the semifinals. But the semifinals didn't look any easier. Bradbury was in the same race as some of the top finishers. His opponents included the defending champion and a few other just tough skaters. During the race, Bradbury stayed consistently in last place, far behind the pack. Then, in the final lap, something unbelievable happened. First, the defending champion was pulled slightly by a Japanese skater and fell. Moments later, a Canadian skater also crashed, and he ended up taking a Chinese skater down with him. Because Bradbury had been skating far behind the whole time, he suddenly found himself finishing second. After the race, another thing followed. The Japanese skater who finished first was disqualified for pulling a Korean skater earlier, which meant that Bradbury moved up again, this time qualifying for the final as the winner of his heat. When the final arrived, Bradbury was assigned to the 5th lane, the worst starting position. No one believed he had any chances of winning. Bradbury himself knew his limits and never planned to compete head-to-head with the favored people in the race. He simply skated cautiously behind the pack. But then a miracle happened again! On the last lap of the final, the 4 skaters in front of him all crashed together. Bradbury had been skating more slowly and further back, and he was able to avoid the pileup. And just like that, almost unbelievably, he skated past everyone and won the Olympic gold medal. What? Y'all, if you do something that seems really hard and probably like it's not going to work, and you pull it out, in Australia, they call that doing a Bradbury. Yeah. I wanted to get you a cutout so I could hang out with Stephen Bradbury while I gave this talk, but it was $90. So why would I tell you that? Why? Because we have to go on. We have to figure out where it is we pick up, how it is we rest, and we have to go on. And we cannot go on as though there is nothing we can do. You are powerful. You are brilliant. You are connected to what you need to be connected to. Your sphere of influence is the only thing I'm asking you to tend each day, like your life depends on it. Because maybe it might. The task before us is this: to gather these pieces, to say, oh, I can see that those people are doing that thing that's unfamiliar to me, and they are not dying. Therefore, I will try it. I will do the thing that makes me uncomfortable, because as long as I'm safe, I can try it. It's going to take all of us. So one of the things that we're missing, because we're missing Zoom, is a beautiful song. Maybe we can get a video about how there's a team for everything in this place. When I ask you to pick up your piece, I need you in all the different places in this community where you can shine, where you can hold a piece with people who love you and want to make this place as good as we can get it. Do we have anything we can do? Yes. And as long as we can do something, that's what's next. I know it's hard, but when you leave this place, it's for something. And your life matters in the way that's going to heal the world. So, we have to hang on. We have to do a Bradbury. I love you. That's good for now.
Now please join in singing our closing hymn, number